Since this is my first attempt at a YouTube video that's maybe worth watching, I figured I'd start with a short introduction about myself. My name is Walt, and I am lucky enough to be able to live off-grid year-round in the North Maine Woods. If you're not familiar with the North Maine Woods, it's basically the northwestern corner of the state of Maine. It's 3.5 million acres of privately owned woodland that is primarily used for commercial logging operations, but is also kept open to the public for outdoor recreation. We have lakes, rivers, mountains. It's basically an outdoor enthusiast paradise. And I'm lucky enough to be able to live here year-round. How do I get to do that? So there are a number of sporting camps in the North Maine Woods that offer everything from cabin rentals to meals, boat rentals, guiding services. And I am the operations manager for one of those sporting camps. So I'm the operations manager of Macannamac Camps. And I'll provide a link to our website down in the description of this video. Feel free to check us out. It's a pretty cool place. We have 6 rental cabins that we rent out year-round for hunting, fishing, ice fishing, outdoor recreation in general. It's a pretty cool place. A lot of what my content is going to be based on is my day-to-day life with living off-grid. It's going to include some of what I do as far as operating the camps on a daily basis, and also what I do in my own free time for outdoor recreation. I'm big into snowmobiling, fishing, ice fishing, all that stuff. So if that interests you, keep watching. I'm going to have some more videos about that. But what we're going to be doing today, I'm just going to go around and show you what I'm doing today, for example, to operate the camps. We're going to go around and bring firewood into the camp so that we're ready to go for next week. And it's a bit of a process. I'll show you what I do. But we had a pretty cold week last week. I don't know if you can see it, but the lake is froze up. It's actually making ice right now. You can hear it boom every once in a while. But we had some below zero temperatures last week. Went through a good amount of firewood. Looking at the forecast, we're supposed to have some more cold weather next week. So we're going to go around and just stock up our wood supply in the camp so we can keep the fires going and keep the places warmed up. So if that interests you, follow along. So this is my personal tractor. It's a Kubota MX 5400, and it's actually quite useful. We have an older John Deere that we use at the camps here, but we put a front mount snowblower on that in the wintertime, so we lose the loader function. So to have this second tractor with the bucket, fork, snow pusher, everything on the front of it is pretty handy. So let's get this thing warmed up. We're going to lug some firewood with it. Alright, so we're going to start by running the block heater for 30 minutes or so. You don't really need it at these temperatures. It's about 10 today, and this tractor actually cold starts really well. I have no doubt that it would start right now if I just turned the key and went with it. But, you know, it's been sitting for about a week. It was down to 0 last night. I know all the fluids in it are pretty cold. And for me, I really like this tractor. I plan to keep it a long time. And the 1/10 of a gallon of gas that I'm going to burn in the generator to help get the coolant up to temperature, which in turn is going to allow the rest of the fluids, the engine oil, the hydraulic oil, to come up to temperature quicker once the engine is already running at temp. It's well worth, for me, the wear that it's going to cause cold starting the engine without any preheating at all. Just, you know, I have the time today, so running the block heater for 30 minutes, I don't know. Not really necessary, but it's worth it to me for the wear and tear it's going to save on a cold start like this. So let's do that first. Another way that I like to help it warm up is I like to point the exhaust of the generator in the general direction of the oil pan on the tractor. It's not going to make a huge difference, but you know, it'll help preheat that oil a little bit. And as long as it's a safe distance away, you got to be careful with that. You got to make sure that you know, it's not too close to the tire, too close to any of the wires, but just pointed at the metal of the undercarriage will just help warm things up a little bit as the generator's running the block heater. Oh. Helps if you have the choke on. Yeah. Got to keep those fires going. It's an important part of my day. It's easy to get distracted with some of the other stuff I got going on, remember to do it, but this new wood stove is nice. I put this in this fall. It's a Quadra-Fire 5700, and it works really well. You get about an 8-hour burn time out of it. Well, actually 12 or so, really, if I really dampen it down. But we're just heating throughout the day. I leave it a little bit more open. Load it every 6 or 8 hours or so, and works really good. Puts off some good heat. I load it up like that and dampen it down a little bit, and it should be good to go for another 6 to 8. I'll let that run a little bit longer. Go load the wood stove over at the lodge while it's on my mind. This one doesn't go quite as long. It's an old Ashley stove. And I find you get to load it about every 4 hours or so during the day. If you really load it up at night and close it down, it'll give you enough coals to get through the night. But just for heating generally during the day, warm it up so it's got some temperature to drop overnight. About every 4 hours I load it. This is the lodge, by the way. We don't have any clients in here right now, but we do rent it out during our busy season mostly. Serves as the office, check people in and such. It's a nice place. I'll give a little more in-depth tour of it some other time. I'm just going around tending stuff today. That's my snow machine, Scandic super wide track. That's definitely going to be featured in some later videos because that's a cool machine and I use it a lot. I'll talk about that some other time too, and definitely have some videos of it in use. Our old work truck, Pup 1 we call it. I'd like to see the mountain of snow this thing has moved in its days. It's a 2009 that they bought new and brought up here. It's got 125,000 miles on it now, and pretty much every one of those has been off-road tending camps here. It hauls firewood in the summertime, plows snow in the winter. I've got it set up with tire chains and concrete counterweight in the back of it right now. It's a tough truck. It's put in some work for sure. That should be good. This thing's been running about half an hour or so. Oh yeah. Let it warm up at that RPM for a few more minutes. All right, up to the woodshed. So those totes there, you're probably wondering, you can see that it's all smaller wood, roughly about 2 inches square. And we split that small stuff up separately and save it and use it in the cook stoves. Both my cabin and the lodge have cook stoves in the kitchen that mostly just provide a supplemental source of heat on cold, windy days. But they are also good to cook on in a pinch if you need it. I like to get a good course of wood going across the bottom like this, spaced out away from the back of the bucket. And then I fill in behind those first pieces here. And that keeps it from sliding back. And it allows me to stack stuff up like this. You'll see when I'm done, but it'll be out in front of this outer edge of the bucket, higher than the top of that. It works really good. I'll show you when I'm done. Now that's a bucket of wood. I wouldn't try that with just any tractor, but orange ones are good for it. I'm just kidding. They're all good. All about how you use them. Head down to the lodge, do that one first. Alright, this place will be good for a while. Grab a load for the cabin now. That's enough. All right, down to the cabin. So one thing that I really like about this cabin, I'll show you, is it's got this handy trap door in the entryway. Because the wood stove's down in the basement, obviously. So instead of having to lug wood through the entryway, through the living space, down the stairs, which would be a pain, I can just open this up. And that way I pitch the wood from the tractor bucket straight into the basement. All right, that's it for cabin wood. All right, cabin's done. So the last thing we need the tractor for today is to fill up the gas cans for the generator. This is our 10,000 watt Honda, and it is the primary source of our power here at Haymock. We have a battery bank and an inverter in the basement of the lodge that powers both the power at the lodge and at my cabin. You can see we have a solar panel on the radio tower, and that works pretty well in the summertime when it's getting good sunlight and the days are long. But this time of year, the days are short. It's pretty common to be overcast like this, and it has a hard time keeping up. So we end up running the generator quite a lot in the fall and winter, and it goes through some gas. But that's not a problem because we have a 2,000-gallon gasoline tank down there. The only downside is we just put the gas in 5-gallon cans and haul it up and fill the generator as needed. So I don't really need the tractor for that, but I've already got it out. It's warmed up. Might as well use it. Makes it a little easier not having to lug those cans. So let's do that. Well, folks, that's it for today. Not the most riveting content in the world, but that's what life in here is like some days. If you did find this interesting, like I said earlier, I am going to be posting more content to come. A lot of it involving adventures on my snowmobile. Everything from tending our outpost camps, 14 miles north, grooming a trail up to Spider, grooming a trail out to Eagle, breaking out those trails when we get to heavy snowstorms, and then dealing with the heavy snowstorms around here with plow truck, tractor with a snow blower, my other tractor. So if this interests you, please like the page and feel free to subscribe. Really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I get some good content for you guys. So thanks for watching. Till next time.